Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and I am live in San Francisco, California. This is the Nerdrotic Nooner. Good morning, everybody. Good evening, good night, depending on where you are on planet Earth or Terra or whatever you want to call it. Hello, chat. We have many things to talk about, but the first thing we need to address is 30,000 subscribers. What the hell? Oh, you guys are great. I am having the time of my life. I can't believe the channel keeps growing, and you guys, I guess, like what I'm doing. Some people don't, and we're going to address that in a little bit. But I'm 44. God, it's gone fast. Jason Gillick, yes. Yes, I will say that. Yeah, we completely, I'm stunned. I'm stunned at this many subscribers. And yes, thank you on people getting the Danny K, 30K with my thumbnail there. Yes, thank you guys so much. And the doctor, best Doctor Who, Patrick Troughton, Tony Rankin, Brett Newman, Halam 899 Live, John Lays, Derek Bentham, Lloyd, simply Lloyd. Thank you, sir. Aberjam UK, Moons of Madness, Captain Robert April, who just got to 1,000 subs. Congrats, my friend, is on the bridge. Matt Guy, Bite Size, Tom Fink, Nihilus, what is up? John Lays, Jason Gillick, Ridiculed Reptile Reviews. Oh man, I still got to read your damn story. I'm so far behind. You know what? I'll read it tonight. Damn it. I'll have to read it tonight. I'm almost done with my other video that's probably going to come out tonight or tomorrow that I'm sure is going to make a lot of people happy. Chris Persia, thank you for the $2 super chat. Congrats on hitting 31.5. And at this rate, 31 by 9 p.m. or 30.5 and then 31 by 9. Yeah, maybe 31,000. You never know. Unless, of course, I see something stupid this live stream. You never know. It's a minute by minute thing here. It really is. And I've said stupid stuff in the past, like very recently, probably in the last 30 seconds. But I'm just a bloke with a mic. Okay, I'm not a critic. I am not a commentator. I am not a news source. Gary, off watching The Crypts of Winterfell again. Congrats on 30K. Oh God, I've been watching that like over and over again. Yes, I'm very excited for Game of Thrones, even though season 7. Someday we'll talk about that. Thank you so much. Okay. So it's kind of a good news, bad news thing we're going to talk about today. So we're going to mix it up. And thank you for all the congratulations. DJ D Show, thank you for showing up with your wrench. I'm sure Mary will be here eventually. If not, it's cool. She just was, I just did a live stream with Doomcock covering the great True Detective. Please check it out when you get a chance. After you watch the episode, of course. Vixen of Vavavoom, thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat as well. Let me get over to that right now. Happy 30K subs, and here's to many more. Thank you for the $2, and I really appreciate that, Vixen, who was formerly OG Spock Love. But considering what's been happening to Spock, I understand the name change. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey for £5. Congrats on 30K. Doesn't seem that long ago we were trying to get you to 7K. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Yeah, that was 2 months ago. That was April 18th. April 18th. I was at not April, what? November. Sorry, November. November 19th. Unfortunately, the day Stan Lee died. That's when things started going nuts. 30K whoops. No one puts Gary in the corner. Ridiculed Reptile Reviews. Yes, we could talk about that real quick. So I do not speak. Okay, there's big Star Trek news that's just repeated old news, and we're going to definitely cover that because people are all over me on Twitter, and it's. I mean, like, keep it coming, guys. Like, really, it's funny, it's hilarious, and I enjoy it quite a bit. So I guess I do not speak ill of other YouTubers. It is a law. It is a rule here. I just don't do it. Now if they come after me first, I reserve the right to respond in kind. Now, apparently, I'm not going to name this YouTuber. So this YouTuber came after me and a couple other YouTubers. I haven't seen the content of the video, so I got to kind of wait for that. But I was going to go over and watch it, and I was ready to just come at him with fire and brimstone and And I saw his face, and I'm like, oh, my son's older than this guy. I can't do that. He's just a little baby, so he doesn't know any better. But I just want to let you know that, like, kiddo, I don't play. Like, I don't play. So just want to let you know, I'm not the kind of guy who messes around with Twitter wars or YouTube wars or any bullshit like that. Yeah. So the only suggestion I'll make is in the tradition of the female doctor, I would change your channel title from Mr. to Miss or Mrs. You know, it might get you some more subs. That's all. So there we go. There we go. That's addressed for now. Hey, I got that for just so YouTube knows, it's a comb. It is a comb. I bought it for $2 in Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah, it's actually, I spilled a bunch of coffee on it too, so it's kind of nasty right now. And I comb my beard with it, so my beard smells like coffee. It's awesome. Oh snap! You're right, literally, DJ D show. Oh snap. Yes. Get off my lawn. Yes, little kid, get off my lawn. Little pudding, little guy, little kiddo. It's all right. Yeah, maybe when he gets older. So let's get to the chat here. Okay. Chris Persia, thank you for the $2 super chat for the intimidating beard cone. Well worth it. Yes. Star Trek news. The Star Trek news is like, guys, the reason this comes out, it's life sometimes goes in patterns. All right. So it's about understanding the patterns of life. That's how we grow. When you get older, you start seeing things repeat, and life does go in cycles. Trends go in cycles. Human beings tend to repeat behaviors, and this is how we learn and grow and move past things or start to figure out BS. So I will use the example of Star Wars. Something I don't talk a lot about here. Please go to World Class Bullshitters and Dictor Van Doomcock for good Star Wars content. Those guys are the best. Geeks and Gamers, EVS. Those guys are on top of Star Wars, better than anybody. I agree with 99.9% of their sentiment. So with Star Wars, remember, it wasn't too long ago when Solo was coming out that Boba Fett was in production and Obi-Wan was in production, and Dan and Dave, which I still think are doing something, but it's been awfully quiet, are doing something. They are going ahead with the Mandalorian show. And there was also a Rian Johnson trilogy. Everything was in production. Everything was great. Full steam ahead. Star Wars is great. Last Jedi didn't do anything. And then that report hit yesterday, confirming what we here on the ground floor of nerddom have known all along. It takes a while for the people in their ivory towers to get the memo, between all the alleged, coke snorting and meetings and cocktails and elitist parties, and who knows what else goes on. And it takes a while for them to get the memo. So Star Trek puts out news today that there's a Philippa Georgiou Section 31 spinoff, which I did a video on in November, and I think the news actually hit late October, early November. I think it was the Star Trek convention in the summer that they talked about that. So this is almost 7 months old information. So why would they drop this again? And it doesn't give any other details other than she is confirmed to be in it, which they might not have used the word confirmed. So that might be the one difference. But if you look in the article, the word development is used. That's a key word there. That is not greenlit. That is not we're shooting. It means we're developing it. Now, it could happen. It absolutely could happen. And let me tell you how it could happen. Because the Drekkies came out and really tried to go, this is it, man. Da, da, da. And, what I have said is I don't report anything. I've got a couple insiders. He told me some stuff. I don't report anything as fact. The one thing I do believe that my source told me is Star Trek Discovery Season 2 has to succeed, and not just on a normal level. The words he used were Game of Thrones level, which is like, Game of Thrones gets overnight viewers of 9-10 million. I'm not sure they got that many. Well, I don't, for one, CBS All Access doesn't have 9 or 10 million subscribers. So I believe that's what I've heard. I don't know for sure, though. They could have 11. I don't know. Don't care. It has to succeed. So I will just remind you that the same stuff was said about Star Wars. And where are we at now with Star Wars? Well, Boba Fett's canceled. And remember, they had James Mangold attached to it. That's a solid director. Things get canceled all the time. All the time. They also had the Obi-Wan movie, which is the one movie I wanted to see with Ewan McGregor. Just real quick, if they made it like a Western, if they did it straight up made Obi-Wan, like Obi-Wan on Star Wars Unforgiven, where a group of people have found out that Luke Skywalker is there, and Obi-Wan finds out, and some of these people even might be innocent, but Obi-Wan, basically it's the movie of him slaughtering everybody to protect Luke. That's a good movie. All right. Obi-Wan has to pretty much, and that's why he's not Obi-Wan anymore, because after he does that, he has to pretty much renounce being a Jedi, because he has to slaughter innocents to protect Luke. That's a good story. I don't know. But that's, it could happen. I doubt it's going to happen. We will see. Time will tell. So far, everything that's been reported by Midnight's Edge and Doomcock has come true. Now, yes, they've added more short treks that are animated. Okay, they're animated. They're probably going to be like Flash too, and they're probably going to be free and available on the Star Trek website. That's not exactly a short trek replacement. That's live action that Netflix is going to pay for or anything like that. So, and as I've said before, the Star Trek fandom is truly split. Unlike Doctor Who is at the point now where I think a majority of people are against the show. Now, there's different reasons for that. There's people who are against the female doctor. There's people who are against political correctness. There's people who are against the shitty writing. There's people who are against all three. There's lots of reasons people are not down with this Doctor Who. And it is okay not to like Doctor Who. And if you like it personally, that's fine. This isn't a judgment of you personally. But don't judge me for not liking it. With Star Trek, it's a lot different. There's Star Trek, the loyalty runs very deep. Star Trek fans are a lot like DC comic fans. Okay, DC comic fans are some of the most loyal fans I've ever seen. And it takes a long time for them to realize something really stinks sometimes. And there's something good and bad about that. So again, it's not a judgment. Star Trek fans are just a different beast. They're a different beast. They're the original fandom. So they're the oldest, the most monolithic, and one I respect quite a bit, and it's a lot of fun to know a bunch of them. But the ones I respect don't like Star Trek Discovery. I don't like Star Trek Discovery. Why? Because it's not Star Trek. It's not Star Trek. The reasons I don't like Star Trek Discovery are quite different from the reasons I don't like Doctor Who. While Star Trek Discovery certainly has some, PC stuff in it for sure. It's more its treatment of the history of the series, its canon, and just how it just generally doesn't feel like a Star Trek show. And then the acting and writing is just awful. It's just awful. It's not up to par with what we're used to with Star Trek. And one person's responsible for that, Alex Kurtzman. So this is a man who should not be in charge. By the way, I do have a Star Trek video coming out concerning the Picard series. That might be old news, but I know I'm pretty much going to give you my prediction, what it's based on. Some people know this, some people don't. But yeah, I'm 90% sure it's going to be based on this one thing. So it's pretty interesting. The thing it's based on is actually good. I hate to say it's good, but they'll mess it up. Kurtzman, I bet you he wishes he still had Robert Orci around, because Orci was the one true Trekkie or Trekker that was involved with the bad robot stuff, and he is gone. And him being gone is very noticeable. Let's get to the super chats and the chat. Belinda. It's good to see you. I know you've been working and lurking, and I love you, Belinda. You're the best. She is all about the Expanse. If you want to keep tabs on the Expanse stuff, Belinda is the one to go to. She has there's 2 Facebook groups. that Belinda runs. One's a private, one's an open one. Everything Expanse. I don't know if you run that one, but you're in that one. Sorry. Everything Expanse. Yeah. So and you feel free to shout them out in the chat if you want, Belinda. It's always you have the keys to Neurotic, Belinda. You do. And by the way, The Expanse is better than Star Trek Discovery. If you want good sci-fi, Star Trek fans, and you need a relief, just watch The Expanse. Star Trek Discovery couldn't hold The Expanse's proverbial jockstrap. It's not even close. Actually, and I pointed out in my last video, whoever wants to play the identity politics game, well, the best black female first officer on television right now is Naomi Nagata. Naomi Nagata. So there. Naomi greater than Mikey Spock. If we're comparing that. All right. Thank you, Chris Persia. $2 for the intimidating beard comb. Well worth it. Did I read that one already? Well, I just read it again. What the hell? I drank a ton of coffee before this one. Can you tell? I'm a little spun. By the way, for those of you, I figured, I put spun on my Doctor Who thumbnail. Some people might know what it's an urban, you go to the Urban Dictionary. It's basically when you've done too much crystal meth and been up for too long, you get spun. You get kind of wide-eyed and Observer Dude, 5 pounds. I would like to have seen T'Pol appear in Discovery the way Spock appeared in The Next Generation. I don't want to see anybody appear in Star Trek Discovery anymore. Sorry. Thank you for the 5 pounds, though. Star Trek Discovery, I wanted it to be good. I really did. I wanted to be enjoying Star Trek. I wanted to be having fun, but instead we get divided fan bases because somebody got a memo in 2015 or 16 that it's okay to inject personal politics into a show. Now, there's more personal politics in the marketing of Star Trek Discovery than in the actual show. The actual show, I mean, if we didn't have creatives from the show saying that the Klingons were an analogy for a certain political group or supporters of a certain politician, nobody would be saying anything, and just doing. And honestly, the best term for it is basic. It's really basic stuff. Remain Klingon, and it's like, guys, they think they're being clever, but that's Kurtzman. Kurtzman's MO in storytelling is just pining off of better men and women's stories and bastardizing them and, pretty much putting a new shiny linear on them just to sell them to people going, look, ooh, shiny, shiny. And then some people like that stuff, though. CBS, BBC, and Disney have ruined long cherished and revered properties. Mr. Twisted 72. Yeah, 2018 was a bloodbath, was a franchise bloodbath. Kurtzman also wrote 2017's The Mummy. He also co-wrote Amazing Spider-Man 2. He also co-wrote Star Trek Into Darkness. Hack is a proper term. Michael Dignam says Titans is the new STD. It could be, man. I see again, Michael, like Star Trek Discovery, I gave that show every possible chance I could. I did. Vixen of Avavoom says any STD fan who calls themselves a Star Trek fan should be spaced, as we say in The Expanse. Should be spaced. Klutzman. Sorry, you're right, Mr. Twisted 72. Klutzman. My mistake. Dennis. Yes. Artemis over easy. Dennis left the nest. JJ Star Trek. Yes, it's a joke. Dajin Zazine says, heads up, 2 more Star Trek announcements planned tomorrow and Wednesday. Yeah, so what's happening here, folks, if you have been paying attention for our Doctor Who stuff, and if you've been involved in the Star Wars kerfuffle from a few months ago, you're seeing patterns repeat, rinse and repeat. So the news was kind of quiet for Star Trek for a little while, but it's going to ramp up now that the series is going, and prior to something, this is akin to announcing the Rian Johnson trilogy prior to The Last Jedi coming out. Remember that, kids? Yeah, everything's good news. Everything's wine and roses before everything starts. And everything was great for Doctor Who season 11. We had a first female doctor. Man, it's great. Out the gate, it had amazing ratings. Everything was wonderful. And then Arachnids in the UK happened. And then right after that episode, and you can look at the data on my videos. If you go to the videos, lots of downvotes. People were like, nah, screw this guy. He's just a negative Nelly, you know? And that's what actually somebody called me in the comments. And you'll notice that the dislikes are less and less as the time goes on. Now, that could be people just dipping out, and that's fine. I understand that. But if you go back to our Star Trek Discovery Season 1 recaps, I had John Reed on at the time, and he liked the show. So we had a guy who liked the show and a guy who didn't like the show. And, you know, but I gave it a solid chance at first. I was out within the first 30 seconds, but it was pretty split. Likes and dislikes were pretty split. But as time went on, right after the fourth episode, The Butcher Cares Not for the Lamb's Cry, I believe that was the fourth or fifth episode, the tide turned. People were done. People generally give a show, even loyal fans, about 4 episodes. 4 episodes in, you know, you've got your legs under you, you've got your pace, you know what you're going to get, and people dipped. Star Trek had amazing loyalty. That's the only reason people stayed with it. Doctor Who had amazing loyalty. That's the only reason people stayed with it till the end. Star Trek Discovery Season 2 is going to be Doctor Who Series 12. You'll see. I'm just going to kick back and watch at this point. As far as the possibility of it being good, that's always a possibility, but it doesn't undo, well, some of the news we've gotten lately, like, I'll have to save that for a video. I'll have to save it for a video. No, I'll bring it up in a little bit. Here's the pitch. Ray walks into a cantina and tries to use the Force untrained. Out pops RoboCop and blows her head off and ends the Star Wars crapology, says Bite Size. That would end things very quickly. That would. Happy 30,000 subs, says Minkin 2. Thank you very much. That's a low bar to set. It certainly is, Nigel. It certainly is. But you know what, Nigel, you have to agree, we're just living in low bar territory right now. There's not many people able to do the limbo under this low bar, if you know what I'm saying. Still need to watch season 1 of The Expanse. Got it here on DVD. Just got to find time, man. Find the time. Don't waste your time with Star Trek Discovery. Turn on The Expanse and just enjoy it. Enjoy it. You'll have a great time. We've got a couple super chats. Observer Dude. I already read that one. Sorry. Scaro Trek, $5. I have no intention to see STD or anything else by Klutzman. It would only encourage them to make more. Like Khan says, let them eat static. Let them eat static. I'll do my best, Khan. I want to go on hurting you. Yes, Scaro Trek, absolutely true. Yeah, don't watch it. We'll watch it for you. Or if you people are really clever, there's way. I mean, I would not recommend it. Is against the law and is a terrible thing to watch it without, buying CBS All Access. Which, by the way, folks, aired one of their short tracks 40 minutes late. 40 minutes late. Gary Bell, Canadian $5. Which would be considered the bigger failure, Star Wars Holiday Special or Doctor Who New Year's Whitaker Special? That is a good question. We have received the consolidated numbers, and I will look them up. I'm sure they're on Doctor Who TV. We'll go check out those I'm sure they're just great. I'm sure they doubled. Not the worst scoring. I'm gonna have to say, if one of my wrenches could link that to me, that would be great. It's not on Doctor Who TV. Wow, they're really slow. They're usually on the ball with that one. But yeah, I'll get it in a second. Here's my guess. So it did 0.15 million viewers overnight. Usually that consolidates out to like 6.5 million, 7.5. I wouldn't be surprised if they like pull 8 million out of their butt. They changed the consolidated number twice on the first episode, and it just barely beat. Just so it would break a record. It was really interesting how they found those 400,000 viewers 10 days later. Now, if you're counting 10 days out, that's fine. I think they should count every view of a TV show, no matter how long it's out, how long it's on the air, and we get real numbers. I don't know if that can be done, but I think they should. But they pick on poor Capaldi so much that they want to compare it to season 10 so much. Well, season 10 was was an utter failure. It was political nonsense. It was the starting of the destruction of Doctor Who. I've actually, there's a good video. I don't need to do a video. If you watch the vandalization of Doctor Who by Dave Cullen, that video breaks it down beautifully of like where that crap started. And I noticed it then. I didn't think it was a big deal, but in hindsight, hindsight's 2020. But those here, maybe they're on. I got to check out my Twitter page real quick. Maybe those numbers are there. And in the meantime, we can read this Georgiou article, the repeating of news. Which, I mean, it's just time. The reason they time this stuff, folks, and this, I'm maybe for the couple of you who don't know, and it's, again, you people are busy, you're working, you're making the world go around. So that's why, people like us can read articles for you, so you don't have to, and also read between the lines for you. So the reason this stuff is put out is to promote the series, to make everything look good, so more people be interested, to get subscribers. This news, they're not lying to you. In development could mean they have hired somebody to write a script, and they have talked to Michelle Yeoh, and she's agreed to be in it verbally. That could be in development. In development could be Alex Kurtzman saying, there's a series in development now. It could be that simple. That's how it works. It's the philosophy of, if I'm in say I'm at a Denny's in Hollywood and Robert De Niro is in that same Denny's, Hollywood speak is, I had lunch with Robert De Niro because he was in the same building with me, and technically you did. That's what this is. Okay, so the actress will captain the series, which is in development. In the article I read in my original video, they called her Captain Emperor Georgiou. So I'm going to continue that new ranking. For CBS All Access, riding the high of Critics' Choice Award win for Best Comedy, Star Trek Discovery. Now, if it was nominated for Best Comedy, we could talk about that. Michelle Yeoh has further reason to celebrate Monday. CBS All Access has officially tapped Yeoh to captain a Star Trek series of her own, a Black Ops themed spinoff of Discovery, in which the actress will reprise her role and explore the next chapter in the life of Captain Philippa Georgiou, Captain Emperor Philippa Georgiou. The untitled drama will further explore Starfleet Section 31 Division, a shadow organization within the Federation featured on Star Trek Discovery, which hands out badges and probably has their own secret handshake. The untitled Emperor Captain Georgiou story, which was leaked in November, is currently in development, but is currently in development. But given that CBS All Access owns Star Trek and is paying Alex Kurtzman $25 million to captain its franchise, it's considered a slam dunk to move to series. That's if he's there. The move allows CBS All Access writers Boyo Kim and Erica Liptold or whatever, they wrote for Star Trek Discovery, time to extend the Star Trek world and mythology as part of CBS All Access. And for Kurtzman, also the animated series Lower Decks and Patrick Stewart led Picard live action drama, and others including a younger skewing Starfleet Academy entry from the OC duo Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage, who also did The Runaways. Michelle has shattered ceilings, broken boundaries, and astonished us with her grace and gravitas. Oh my God. For decades, Michelle Yeoh's great. Okay, I like Michelle Yeoh. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was beautiful. I think she's great. She's just awful as Georgiou. I've already told you her acting is like your mom trying to act sexy, but like that fake sexy that you do, kind of tempered in front of kids. That's what Georgiou is. It's really comically bad. As a human, I adore her. As an actor, I revere her. Who is this writer? Leslie Goldberg. Pump the brakes, Leslie. Pump the brakes. Okay. I was just talking about this on my True Detective recap, and it's something that everybody knows, but not a lot of people just come out and say. A lot of people. I hate identity politics. I freaking hate it. But there's a lot of I'm assuming she's a white girl. A lot of white folks like to overpraise certain actors to virtue signal, and it actually is a form of racism. Think about it just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. It's like overpraising a child. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you did so good. You did so. Here's your participation trophy. It's like, she's good. She's done good stuff. She's won awards. She's a decent actress. She is not a goddess. Okay, easy. She is a person who is fully capable of sucking too. Like we all are. Okay. So as with all Star Trek series, Kurtzman will executive produce. Oh boy. Behind his studio-based secret hideout. The reason it's called Secret Hideout because it's actually Bad Robot, which is run by Heather Caden, Rod Roddenberry. Rod, we've got to talk. CEO of Roddenberry Entertainment and son of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry, will executive produce alongside Trevor Roth, Alan Bears, and co-executive producer alongside King Lippo. In a Creative Space interview that was published January 9th, Kurtzman told the Hollywood Reporter that there is a limit to how many Star Trek series are part of the overall franchise. There has to be. At a certain point, people are going to say it all feels so familiar. The only thing I'd throw back is that nobody seems to have said that about Marvel. Well, because Marvel's good. See, people don't say that about Marvel when Marvel's being good, but Marvel's not perfect either. Wasp and Ant-Man. Between film and TV, no one is tired of them. That's not honest. That means that the world of the global audience, there is always room for more. But the more has to be meaningful, says Kurtzman said. I'm so excited to continue telling rich Star Trek stories, Yeoh said. Being a part of the universe and the character specifically has been such a joy for me to play. I can't wait to see where it all goes. Certainly, I believe it will go where no woman has gone before. Oh, I was waiting for that. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. You're so powerful and strong, and I am not worthy to even be around you. I will avert my eyes when you're come into my direction because of your greatness. Pretending to be things on film and television. You're a good pretender. Yeah, Yeoh has been Bond girl. She's been a lot of stuff. But we're not going to have Bond girls anymore because that's so heteronormative. Yeah. So because and listen. I only say that because the PC culture that has become the cultish Puritans have taken which one of my favorite things about anything is swagger, sex appeal, romance. They've taken that away. We can't do that stuff. So we have to make everybody bad fathers to have some kind of emotional reaction to our characters so they give them emotional depth. It used to be I need to fight for my woman or my man when I'm a man or whatever. We can't do that anymore. because you're, subjugating somebody. I have no freaking idea what happens in their brains, and I don't care. But it's limiting our entertainment. We get Bechtel tests now, and the fact that it has to be written for Hollywood says a lot. Because I'm not saying Hollywood's been great about this stuff. They're not. But who suffers is the fan. The fan suffers because we get blamed for all this shit. It's like, we didn't cast anybody. We just watched the stuff you put out. I'm going to get to the chat now. My brain hurts from reading that a little bit. So I got a few people on Twitter, which I mean, like, I ghost most of them because I don't have time to do Twitter. I seriously don't have time to do Twitter stuff. So if you want to keep it coming, that's fine. I'm not going to respond, and I probably won't read it, but I won't block you. I don't believe in blocking. Unless you get totally obnoxious. But yeah, if it's just like some Star Trek stuff, yeah, go ahead. It's fine. I don't have time for it. I wish I did. I really do. Hi, Mr. Roboto. Excuse me. How are you? Rolo Cat. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Let's get over here. It's goddamn ridiculous, as my old pappy used to say. Mr. Roboto, thank you for the super chat. Are you saying Michael B. Jordan shouldn't play every role? No, Idris Elba should play every role, Mr. Roboto. Thank you for the $2 super chat. Social Loner, 10 pounds. What do you think about Shatner playing an old version of Pines Kirk, where he gets transported in timeline 20 years after the original Kirk died, saving the Enterprise B? I don't know how to. I don't want Kirk. Now, what is this in Star Trek Discovery? Like, what's the context of it? I like, I have a thing called headcanon. See, I pretend Star Trek Discovery doesn't exist. Romulus is still a planet, and the Shatner's novel series, The Return, is canon for me. If it's something like that, fine. If it's in Star Trek, no, I do not want to see William Shatner in Star Trek Discovery. No. Brian Smart, but thank you for the 10 pounds. I appreciate it. I'd love for Shatner to come back, because like his treatment in Generations, it was a good thing I didn't have a YouTube channel back then, because that's all I would talk about, how much I hated Star Trek Generations. It was fun. And then he dies. Come on. Really? Dies alone, although he predicted he would die alone. Picard was there, but no, he still died alone. Brian Smart, $2 super chat. Happy 30K. I was only off by 2 weeks. You were. Brian Smart is the Nerdstradamus. He predicted 30K at the end of 2018. Yeah, I'm shocked, man. I'm shocked. So, but thank you so much, and thank you for the prediction. I appreciate it. Silhouetted Animator, $5. If it existed, would you watch a crossover film starring Captain Philippa, L337, and Jodie's Doctor? I would have to watch it to cover it, but it would just be to roast the hell out of it. Now, out of those three, Captain Philippa is probably I mean, if I had a choice, if there was a gun to my head, I'd probably watch Captain Philippa's story. My theory on this is maybe they canceled Discovery, but they want to keep the sets, so they use the Philippa Georgiou show. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see if all this happens. The one thing I do know is the numbers aren't great at CBS All Access, so maybe they're just doubling down on their investment, and they feel like, hey, more will probably get more people interested. But here's what's going to happen. Even if these other things get made, it's going to crash and burn so hard, and it's going to get so expensive. And there is a big regime change coming at CBS. That's undeniable. That is around the corner. So maybe they're trying to forge ahead and keep their power. That's been known before too. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Gary, I thought it was called the rectal test, not the Bechtel test. You're right. My bad, Brent. Thanks for the 2 pound. The rectal test. Yes. It's on the nose, but goddamn, it's funny. Sometimes on the nose shit, it's funny. Okay. Why do I don't need that many windows up. I really don't. That's always bad for my live streams. Okay, so yeah, man, I'm gonna try to get that Doctor Who video out tonight, but it'll probably be in the morning. Um, it it has been the single hardest video for me to do. I can only do it in like little chunks because my blood pressure honestly doesn't get up for this stuff. It irritates me, and then I move on about my day because I'm able to talk about it with you guys here. It's great. It's very therapeutic. But aforementioned Bond transsexual, oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. You know, and listen, I am a live and let be person. You can do what you want as long as it's not hurting anybody. I'm not going to judge it. Rock on, have fun. If you want to be transsexual, great, awesome. Don't get mad at me if I misgender you, but if you ask nicely, I'll address you accordingly. I don't care. I mean, like if somebody, called me Greg instead of Gary, it would get a little annoying, but I wouldn't get mad. Yeah, it's not about that. It's about agenda. The biggest problem I have with everything is agenda and not, and they try to spin it with, especially with the Doctor Who thing. They always bring up Rosa and the demons of the Punjab. And I always say that the most political offensive show was the Arachnids in the UK. That one was the dumbest, and it had nothing to do with really identity politics, but it had everything to do with politics. And that was the most political episode. That was more political than Rosa or Demons of the Punjab. And that's the one that people pretty much resoundingly hate the most. That's the one where people dipped out. So yeah, they try to paint one picture that is not true. They try to broadly generalize us into some vast alt-right wing conspiracy thing, which listen, people see through that. The fact of the matter is there's major publications that allow that to go into print, and it's okay to let it go in print if you like put a paragraph under that going, although there's no data to really back any of this up. This is purely one person's opinion. I'm sorry, it's not data to link to other articles with false accusations. You have to have actual data showing that there's actual groups out there infiltrating Star Wars and Doctor Who. Yeah, because you know what? Doctor Who is a very popular show within the alt-right. I'm sure the alt-right are just huge Doctor Who fans. I think their favorite Doctor is John Pertwee. So no, I'm just kidding. No, it's Sean Connery. I like Sean. The DJD show just simply says Sean Connery. Sean Connery's a man's man. Okay, he evades his taxes like no other. No, I love Sean Connery. Let me show you how much. I got my. Oh, I lost this helmet. Connery, the God of Thunder. Yes, I was bored one day and I used a Captain Action figure. Someday, yeah, I'm gonna give this away in some contest. It's a very unique item. Man, woman, man, monkey, woman, and so on. Yes. Yeah, they're only good when they fix the potholes in Solo. Freaking Solo. That's what they wanted, though. They want Disney, when they bought Star Wars, they were going to have their own Luke, Leia, and Han, and they still are. They have not given up on that, folks. Oh, no. We are a long way from over. They're course correcting, but the plan was, they were going to work on the expanded universe. But I mean, I think everybody's come to the realization that someday within our lifetime, they will remake the original trilogy. Probably not with Orville Redenbacher or whatever his name is, but with somebody else. There's a show called Lodge 49. There's a girl, and I forgot her name. She does look like a young Carrie Fisher, like a lot like a young Carrie Fisher. And oh, she's sorry. I have to keep my phone on because I have a child in school, so that's the deal. Uh, have I seen? Have I seen so and so's reviews video? I heard Leahy 3. Yes, I was informed of that earlier today. I have not seen the video. I will watch it. I think it wasn't him, it was somebody else has talked about us before too. In the other video that I did watch, all he said was, "Where do these people come from?" And then I told him the story of a daddy nerdrotic met a woman, a mommy nerdrotic, and they had nerdrotic relations, and then they gave me up for adoption. It's a sad story. Okay, the thumbnail is Nager. It's a good question. It's a deep cut. The thumbnail, what in the world does Danny K have to do with any of this? What's his last name? K. You put 30 in front of K, you get 30K. Get it? Maybe it didn't work, but I love Danny K. It was fun. So a couple people got it. A couple people, but I mean, there's some people who don't even know who that guy is. So that's Danny K. He's like a vaudevillian actor. He was in one of the funniest old movies of all time called The Court Jester, which Doomcock and I were talking about last night. He's one of my favorite old timey actors. And yeah, I like Danny K. Yeah, I was something I dug him when I was a kid, when I was a little kid. He made me laugh. Like I would spit like chocolate milk out of my nose kind of laugh. I also, one of my favorite all-time movies is Don Knotts' The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. The Ghost and Mr. Chicken used to put me in stitches when I was a kid. So Angel Feliciano. What if a woman was asking for it? I don't know what that's in regards to. Sean Connery name sounds like Sans Connery in a French phrase for without balls. Is a Jean Connery is a French phrase for okay, I got it. All right. I did not know that. Mr. Twisted 72 loves Danny K. Yes. May he rest in peace. What other studios would you like to see take the reins and ownership of Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who if it was possible? That is a heavy-fisted. That is a good question. Who would I trust with those franchises right now? Oh, because like normally, like Disney sounded like the logical choice. It really did. I would say, take Lucasfilm. This is going to sound crazy. Dissolve Lucasfilm. Disney can keep it. I would find some other creatives. I would take Dave Filoni and have him start something on his own. He can call it whatever he wants. Bantha Poodoo Studios or whatever, or Bantha Tracks, name it after the old magazine from the Star Wars fan club, something like that. That's what I would do. Disney can keep it because they are decent with letting their organizations run anonymously or not. You know what I mean? And I live stream speak. They in the past they've done well with Pixar. Marvel's done pretty damn good. Well, the MCU, not the comic part. They really screwed the pooch on that one. I don't know. I like my first inclination is to go to Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers fucks up too. They really do. I'm trying to think who's good. Oh man, what I would do is a production company. It's a TV production company, but it's one that puts out great stuff. They're called Anonymous Content. Anonymous Content does Mr. Robot. They just did a Homecoming series on Amazon. They do Counterpart. They are solid. They just understand things. But I don't trust any of the big ones now. It's time for a new studio. Danny K is dope. Danny K is dope. Why keeping the phone on due to call at school when pushing calls away? Well, I mean, if the school calls, I'll pick it up. You'll just have to wait. But but it's good to know. I will tell Junior if he says hi. If the school does call, you'll have to talk amongst yourselves. It's just for emergencies. Hopefully they don't call, because that means something bad happened. I really don't want them to call. The Orville, I love that show. The Orville is a great, fun show. A little bit of a slow start in season 2, but not as bad as some people say. And last episode was really good. It rallied. I was a little worried the first half of the episode, but the second half really rallied. I thought it was good. You know what's ridiculous is there's some Star Trek Discovery fans who just hate it because it exists, because it's Orville, because it's against their show. That really is a prime example of the type of thought that is put into what's behind all the agenda, pushing and everything in all our show. It's that type of thought. It's the Orville exists, and it's going to hurt the thing I love, so therefore I'm going to hate it no matter what. That's it. I'm doing a video on this. It's childish thought. It's two-dimensional thought. It's my thing is the good thing. My thing is right. So I'm not even going to look into that thing, and they're not even going to allow themselves to like it and be open to like it, because it's possible. Guess what? You could like both of them if you really want to, or hate both of them, and they both could fail. They both could certainly fail. And guess what? That's very bad if they both fail, because that would send a message out to Hollywood and the BBC that sci-fi is really not a thing anymore. So this is a make or break year for Star Trek Discovery, for the Orville, and for the Expanse. We need a lot of people to watch the Expanse. Now, there's some dipwads out there who will hate the Expanse because people like Doomcock or I like it. Okay. Yeah. That's okay if you're like under 20. I would accept that type of behavior. If you're anywhere near my age, therapy is available. It's a very good thing. I've been to therapy myself. It's very good. It helps to talk about these things. Mars, Bringer of War is your ringtone. Awesome. Anti-Trekker, it is my ringtone, but it's not just that. It is Gary, and it is Gary from the Venture Brothers doing it. So if you've ever watched the Venture Brothers, Gary is doing Mars, Bringer of War. That is my ringtone, because the Venture Brothers is the single greatest cartoon ever put to screen. Waiting for Romana to come back as Fred now with the gender swapping. Yes, it should be Randy. Fred, that's fine. Joker's 79. And, I was a proponent of the TARDIS being male now. So the TARDIS should always be an opposite sex of the Doctor. If sex, wait, that's right. Gender doesn't matter. So if gender didn't matter, then why did the Doctor change gender? Because it doesn't matter. Maybe the Doctor just found a nice little meat puppet. See, the thing is, if a Time Lord gets jaded, like the Mighty Corsair, which is the first time I remember it being talked about, like openly in a show. It could have been earlier than that. I could be wrong. Changed his gender because he was known to be a little bit of a swinger, which is fine. But no, there's a reason it's not working. There's a reason the show's not working. 55 years to get to this point, destroyed in a year. Absolutely destroyed. And then I'll, hear how it's not destroyed. And yeah. Okay. Okay, what's up, Anti-Trekker? By the way, Anti-Trekker is the great Michael J. Crawford. He is a friend. We will be doing something very soon, very, very soon. I dig his channel. Check it out, Anti-Trekker. Dude knows his Trek. I will put him up against any Drekkie any day. My money's on the Anti-Trekker. Nerdotic Studios soon to announce their opening of their first production, The Creeping PC. It would be a lot of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Gamer Gamut, thank you for the $5. That's a good story, because it's not far from the truth. It really isn't. And I promise I don't want to build up this next video too much, but yeah, an article came out thanks to It's Just Plain Joe that really just paints the picture of yeah, it's like they're not even hiding it anymore. They're like, yep, we're putting an agenda. Yep. And we're the good guys and you're the bad guys. And that is very dangerous thinking. Because like, listen, I roll out of bed. I don't roll out of the bed thinking, roll out of the rack thinking I'm right about everything. I get up in the morning and go, I'm right. My work is done. I'm just going to go through life being right about everything. Life doesn't work like that. So, and if you see my old Doctor Who PC video, Stephen Fry talks about that in his great quote. He's talking about political correctness and how it has actually nothing to do. This agenda stuff has nothing to do with political correctness in itself. It has to do with being right. It's a personal thing. We keep hearing about stuff not being accessible to people. Well, why is it not accessible? That sounds like a personal problem. Like you can't turn on a television. I mean, if like you physically can't turn on a TV set, TV, then, and you need somebody to help, that's not being accessible. But as far as like if I sit down and I see a TV show and it's a bunch of people who don't look like me, I don't feel like it's accessible. That's kind of on me. That's a personal thing. Yeah, there's been some horrible things in the past, horrible, and we got to get past them. We do. I mean, like, we just do. I mean, it sucks that they feel that way. I'm sorry they feel that way. And, there was a time probably where they absolutely, had to feel that way. I don't think this is the time though. But again, I could be wrong. Your light bulb in the background is a bit flashy today. Yes, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. Hopefully it's not mesmerizing you too much. If not, I can just go like this. And then it doesn't bug you anymore. I'll be off to the right a little bit. And if that happens, I got to talk to this side of the screen. But no. Yeah, I actually forgot to turn it off. I usually turn it off. It's one of those like torch light bulbs. It's supposed to be creepy. I have another light. Hang on. I'm going to be putting a lava lamp in here. And there's this. This is cool. I got some stuff on clearance at Home Depot. So I got this changes color. My big red ball that doesn't look red because it's all blown out right there. Yeah, there we go. And a lava lamp. I've never had a lava lamp. But people wanted the Christmas lights back, and I'm kind of doing a variation of that because it's not Christmas anymore. OMFG, that Doctor Who. That's right. I don't know if Joe, if you're in here, could you message me the those ratings? I'm going to try to find them because somebody said that the consolidated ratings are out here. Give me just a second. Ratings. Oh, here it is. Hey, simple little act of Googling helps. Oh my God. I got these websites with these giant banners. It's like, dude, is it 2001? People are not impressed with that. And I'm reading this. I do not know what these numbers are. I have no idea. Okay. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, there we go. Thanks. I appreciate that. Gamer Gambit, the ratings of resolution were 5.5 million. It's consolidated out to 6.96 to 7.13 million. I know. Bryce 11544. I'm sorry to disappoint you all. Gary, you live in San Francisco and you're just now getting a lava lamp. Insert meme of disappointment. What's that? What? Shake my head. SMH. Esha oopsie. Sorry, that's my bad PewDiePie. Oh my God. Since that whole subscribe to PewDiePie thing, I've been kind of addicted to PewDiePie. I've been watching this shit out of his videos. I can't stop watching. I know I'm 9. I'm part of his 9-year-old audience. Hang on a second. Start screen share. Why does that go backwards? That's very strange. Present to everybody. Okay, consolidated ratings revealed for Doctor Who Resolution. Now, before I even start, these ratings, I think they going to talk about who consolidates them? Because I'm looking into this. I am not an investigative journalist, so I will accept any help. Please DM me on Twitter, nerdrotics@gmail.com, or you can just friend me on Facebook. You know my name, Gary Beekler. And I want to hear about this company that consolidates the ratings and the possibility that they are partially funded by the BBC, which just would, no matter what, that puts everything in the question. All right. So, and I question everything when it comes to ratings and box office, because I know for a fact they don't tell us the truth, at least with the movie box office. I know for a fact they don't tell us the truth. I may or may not have had a very long conversation with a Disney CEO of a certain aspect of Disney when I did a filming thing, and lots of insightful data I got from that. That was like 6 years ago. I was doing this fun little film project there. Consolidated figures. I got to blow this up because I'm blind. Okay. Consolidated figures for the Doctor Who New Year's Day special resolution are in, taking into account for those who saw the program on transmission and those who watched it within 7 days. The episode was seen by 6.93 million viewers and consolidated increased on the overnight ratings of 5.15 million. Nonetheless, this does make it one of the least watched 13th Doctor serials, though it was an increase in comparison to the series 11 finale, the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos, and the least watched Doctor Who special show over the festive period. Here's the ranking of all the Christmas specials from the Feast of Seven to Twice Upon a Time, or the Feast of Stephen, sorry, to Twice Upon a Time. We expect the final figures, which include this company right here, Barb's new 4-screen rating to top 7 million viewers. However, according to film and TV journalist Lizo Mzimba, Luther, he works for the or is it he or she? I think they work for the BBC. I'll check that out. The most watched show, Luther, the most watched show of New Year's Day, increased a massive 3.2 million from 5.6 overnights to a consolidated 8.8. I haven't seen it yet, but man, I'm telling you, Luther's a good show. Luther's a good show. The series is created by Neil Cross, The Rings of Akatan and Hyde, both not very good Doctor Who episodes, and directed by Jamie Payne. Hyde and The Time of the Doctor. Time of the Doctor is good. It's superb too, by the way. Catch it if you can. I'll agree with you there. Meanwhile, BBC America apparently isn't too happy with Doctor Who's performance, with Resolution drawing in an average of 1.4 million viewers. That's consolidated. Coincidentally, this is also the average figure for the whole of the series, series 11 on the channel. And again, there's that word average. You take away those first 2 episodes, we're in Capaldi territory. Okay. If you missed any of the shows, the BBC begs you to please watch. I love how they have this poster here. See those little teeny people in the front that were in the show all of 3 or 4 seconds, and they had the more interesting story. What would you rather have watched? The story in the 9th century of basically 9th century armies coming together to fight a single Dalek, losing hundreds, thousands of men. And by the way, I'm not understanding. Why do they? Okay, here's what I don't understand. Of the 3 people they show in front, 2 were from the 9th century and 1 was from modern times, but they didn't show the white guy from Yorkshire. Why didn't they show the white? So why did they show the one modern person, but they took away the poor white bloke that they had to kill in Yorkshire because he was white? Would that be too many white people in one picture? And I'm accused of being hyperbolic about the Christmas special not being on Christmas because it's too politically correct when they've come out and said so. When they use language like, we want to make the show more accessible to an international audience, that means Christmas is too fracking PC for the BBC now. That's what that means. Yeah. Jesus Christ. This is the world we live in. This is the fracking world we live in. We're going backwards, people. It's yeah. The ninth century ruled. It so did, forementioned. I was there. I'm so old. I was there. Now, mud huts kind of sucked. And it, yeah, but you kind of do what you want back then, it was quiet. It was very quiet. The plague sucked. No, I don't know if the plague was in the 9th century. Saw some aliens because it was ancient times. The BBC have released the Doctor Who scripts. Why? To prove that they're scripts? That's an interesting move. That's a very interesting. That's a bold move. It's out of the box thinking. I'm not sure if it'll work for him though, because nobody will mock that at all. That seems like kind of low hanging fruit there. We are going to have a non-white doctor next, and I'm fine with that. Koto Jonathan, I am totally fine with that. If it's a bloke, it's got to be a bloke. Doesn't have to be a white bloke. I don't care. Thomas Williams, they didn't have black people in Britain back in the 9th century. They were supposedly, Thomas, and that's what I totally failed to mention this in my review, but that's a good point. I was like, was it a Moorish army that invaded? Like, when did that happen? One was from Russia and the other one, but the Moorish guy was from South Asia. Was that not a black guy? I was confused. And how did they get to a South Pacific island in the 9th century? I mean, I guess they could have. It depends on what the civilization was. I was confused by the whole thing. But then I remembered Doctor Who writers wrote it, so I shouldn't concern myself too much. Killed by thickets and robbers ever who kill a guy and don't right. Red midget killed by the thickest robbers ever who kill a guy and don't steal his big freaking bag that he's holding. I know. Capaldi deserves another freaking series. Okay. Peter Capaldi was effed over by the BBC. That is my opinion. But the Great Plague was 1665. Yeah. I have no idea, Bill. Bill Whitaker. Are you Jodie's brother? Well, there was lots of plagues. I'm not saying it was the Black Plague, but there was lots of diseases back in the. I don't know if there was a plague though. I was just throwing shit out there. Richard Iode for the next Doctor. Who is that? I probably know. Let's take a look. Oh, you've said that before. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that. He's got Dr. Hair. He's definitely got like a doc, like a foppish hair. Yeah. I'm not against that at all. I think it's a good choice, Chris. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both hand, then you have the facts of life. The facts of life. Good and bad, just bad, and you get new Doctor Who. The Lucifer showrunners released season 4 scripts to select fans for review. Legal stuff prevents them from sharing what they read, though. Really? Then why share it? All they can say is they're good. Well, I can call bullshit on that and say that maybe they just got some people to lie and paid them. I think when you do stuff like that, you need to show some evidence. So maybe they like show a piece of a script or something, and that's great. I'm going to be covering Lucifer, a silhouetted animator, with Mrs. Nerdrotic. Yes, Mrs. Nerdrotic will be joining me from time to time. So you guys get to see her if you haven't seen her in a while. Her name's Melissa. She's awesome. Yeah, so she'll be joining us for Deadly Class and Lucifer. Looking forward to Doctor Who taking out Santa in 2021. I know, right? Or just switching the gender. Yeah. Yeah, we've already heard some about that. Alexander Siddig from DS9 for the Doctor. Ooh, that's interesting. I love DS9. Heavy Fisted asks, do you think Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, or any of the older sci-fi series would be more resilient from being remade into social justice cinema in the current climate? Nothing is resilient, my friend. Zero with the current crop of creators. It depends on which hands they go to. If people who take Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon, I would love to see a new one, just like a straight version of it. The saving grace on this, folks, is China. China is the reason Aquaman came out the way it did. This Aquaman is a sign of the turn of the tide. And this is what we want, folks. We don't want any personal politics in it. Now, it doesn't mean you don't need to talk about politics or lightly refer to something once in a while. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about injecting like ridiculous personal politics, usually that come from, very closed off elitist people who don't really walk among the subjects, we'll say. Just leave it out there because you just sound bad. When you hear Sonequa Martin Green or any actor talking about their abuse on social media that they can turn off, not sign up for, and walk away. And yeah, I'm gonna go be really upset in my on my island home somewhere. Maybe they don't realize how bad it sounds. And it's good that there's YouTubers out there to remind them that it sounds bad. It's a bad look. All right, because when a large portion of the world doesn't have running water, when you complaining about getting some heat on Twitter, which I got this morning, which a bunch of you in the chat get every day, and it's really easy to just like ignore it, So yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to feel sorry for somebody like that. No. When there's actual people getting actually abused out there by actual horrible people, you disrespect them. When I hear the word abuse related to something digital, listen, it's different if like somebody's bullying a kid. That's different. We're talking about an adult who is an actor. Thundercats, 10 pounds. Now that you've watched an episode of EastEnders for Doctor Who research, are we going to start getting EastEnder reviews? Might be good practice for next season of Doctor Who. EastEnders, at least that stuff was in context. I'll say that. It is a soap opera, and I don't want Doctor Who to be a soap opera, but soap operas serve a purpose in this world, and I have enjoyed them in the past. Now, of course, I was really lit on a lot of pot, a lot of the hippie lettuce, a lot of the ganj, a lot of the herbage, as we used to say. But I enjoyed it. Santa Barbara was my favorite soap opera as a kid. Had Cruz Castillo, Cece Capwell. You guys know who I'm talking about. The Capwell family. Cece Capwell, man. Patriarchy. Andrew Robinson was a genius as Garrick. Well, Mr. Peabody is the next Doctor, his boy Sherman as his next companion. That Mr. Peabody movie that came out, was it 9 years ago, was freaking great. I watched that movie with my kid. I loved it. That was brilliant. I don't know if many people watched it. It was funny. I liked it. I've seen way too many animated kid movies to where like I cannot watch anymore. Like Pixar is even hard for me to watch now, which sucks. But I like that one. but for every one good one, there was like 20 bad ones that just my brain was melting out my head. What about the message from space from a galaxy 15,000 light years away? So basically, just around the corner. Yeah, just around the corner. Uh, uh, the hunky chunky funky monkey. I don't get abuse on Twitter. I must not be doing it right. On the hunky chunky funky monkey. I see you on Twitter. You're cool. That's why. I usually don't either. It's only recently. It's Star Trek people. Believe it or not, like Doctor Who fans have not been laying it on me. They might like pop off on YouTube once in a while, but no. Star Trek, man, different story. Different story. It's kind of fun though. Truth Apocalypse. Alexa as the next Doctor. I'm guessing it's in the works. Yes. If I say Alexa too loud, mine will turn on. And yes, I have one. And yes, it's spying on me. But Mrs. Neurotic wanted it, so she gets what she wants. Happy wife, happy life. You know what I'm saying? Just a man with the courage of Flash. Yeah. Oh man, I love that movie. I love Flash Gordon. I love Flash Gordon comics. I love Buck Roger comics. I want to see them both. At their core, they're the same thing, but they're both wonderful. They're absolutely different when you get into the story. And I love the Flash Gordon movie. I loved it when it came out. I like it, more as a comedy now than anything. But when I was a kid, that was serious, man. I loved that movie. And from that point on, I was like, every movie should have a rock band do the soundtrack. And I was obsessed with that. I was like, Black Sabbath should be doing soundtracks. And, and then I heard Tangerine Dream. Tangerine Dream kind of changed my life. They were amazing. How did I like the Satan Pit two-parter? It's one of my all-time favorites. CTO Jonathan, one of my all-time favorites. I even set up a diorama in my store. I might do it again here in the office. Is that I think Sideshow did a 1-in-1 scale darkness head from Legend. So it's Tim Curry's face as the devil. And then I had my Tenant action figure, and there's a play set that comes with the two urns. And I had him standing in front of the head. And yeah, I didn't actually play and react the scene because, at the time I was like 40, but I would have, but yeah, so I did the diorama. I'll put that up again because that was cool. That was cool. That hit is huge. It's worth a ton of money. Yeah, but mine's damaged. That's why I got it. There you go. Loquacious Primate backs me up. The Mr. Peabody movie was awesome. Oh, stop. That's just my mom. No, I'm just kidding. I don't recognize the number. Strawberry Hellcat, thank you for the $5. You guys have got to buy a copy of The World of the Orville. I'm trying not to drool over it right now. What is it? Is it a book? I'm guessing. The World of the Orville. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's a book. It's a book. And yeah, it is available on Amazon for $27.16. If you're a Prime member and you order it within the next 10 hours, you can get it tomorrow. You can get it tomorrow, depending on where you are, depending on your location. Seeing that I'm in San Francisco, yes, I love to call it San Francisco because it pisses off San Franciscans. Yeah, I'm near many hubs, so I get stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna buy this. It is added to my cart. Yeah, thank you. You're awesome. Thanks for making me spend more money, Strawberry Hellcat. I appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Titan replacing IDW with Doctor Who comics? I haven't purchased any of the Titan comics yet, but have nearly every IDW one. Titan has up until very recently been brilliant. Gamer Gambit. IDW did good work with the Doctor Who comics. I never liked IDW's art for some reason. To me, they had a substandard art style that I was never crazy about. I have some original art from quite a few Doctor Who comics. And my favorite, of course, is Ben Templesmith. And my favorite Doctor Who comic story is The Forgotten, which is so good. So good that like that needs to be made into something. So if you haven't gotten into it, it's a David Tennant story. It has a Ben Templesmith cover, which I will show you is utterly gorgeous. Now, Ben Templesmith is a bit of a digital artist. He's been to the store. We're kind of friends. Yeah, I mean we know each other, and you know, he's a good dude. I know he gets a little salty on Twitter, but if you get to know him, he's a good dude. Hang on, I'll show you. There we go. Oh, that cover's so beautiful. It's kind of blurry though. I want a less blurry one. There we go. No porn tabs up. Well, no porn that I'd be embarrassed about. Just kidding. I'm married. Oh, why did I hit stop? I did not mean to do that. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, old man internet. Start the screen share. Oh, okay. Present to everybody. All right, y'all see that? That is the cover. I love it so much. The story involves all the doctors up to Tennant at that time. And I'll just leave it that. It is really, really good. It's got Tennant interiors. And if they weren't in the next room, I would show you the original art that I have from this comic. But it is amazing. Amazing stuff. Yeah, so what he does is he'll draw it and then he'll digitally insert the face. This is something I used to do too, and it's a lot of fun. Is it kind of cheating? No, because Templesmith is like a classically trained artist. So I guess it depends. But that's brilliant work. Really, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, honestly, I do prefer my comic art to be completely pen to paper, pencil to paper, no digital at all. But for digital, I like Ben Templesmith. My favorite comic artist is Derek Robertson. And my second favorite is Ethan Van Sciver. Silhouetted animator Gary, been watching Abducted by the Daleks over and over again. Mission accomplished. Divorce guys like porn. Did I say that out loud? Brent Newman. Inner monologue, Brent. Inner monologue. But you got me to say it. So, what's up? What is the Matrix? Cheers. Cheers. One of the Doctor Who actors did a love scene with another man in a movie. Matt Smith, David Tennant. It had to be one. Chris Eccleston, Peter Capaldi. I don't know. Hey, you gotta earn that cheddar somehow. You know? Scuffed username. That is true data. I'm not denying that. He says married men on average watch more porn. That's true. That is a fact. Research purposes only, says Brent Newman. Oh, silhouetted animator, $2. Another Sandman fan casting Joseph Gilligan as Kane. Ooh, I gotta refresh my memory on who that is. Gilligan. Oh God, yes, Cassidy. I was like, I knew that name from somewhere. Cassidy from freaking Preacher. I know that's two Vertigo things he's in. And Mrs. Nerdrotic has a solid rule that I'm behind, even though Chris Evans has broke that. You've been a superhero in one thing. You've been in a comic thing. You don't get to go into another comic thing. And he's so good. He owns the screen in Preacher. I don't know how good Preacher would be without him. I think he is the most important thing, most important actor, most important character in Preacher. And I kind of felt that way with the comic. By the way, Preacher is one of the best comics ever written. Please read it. Gary, have you heard the music collaboration between Tangerine Dream, Brian May, and Meatloaf? Oh, I have not. I need to hear that like right now. I need to hear that right now. Haley Atwell should be the next doctor if we have a female doctor. Rebecca Gold, she would be better than Jodie Whittaker. I like Haley Atwell quite a bit. I don't know how intimidating she can be though. Honestly, somebody like Lucy Lawless, not Lucy Lawless, but somebody as far as like intimidating, but still funny. Somebody like that. If it needs to happen. What's up, Rebecca Gold? How's it going? Uh, Matt Smith did. Okay, I figure it was probably Matt. What's in the TARDIS says in the TARDIS. What wait, wasn't in the TARDIS? Was it? I don't know. Get your TARDIS over here, DJ Bowman. Michelle Gomez, yeah, actually would be a good female doctor if they have to go that route. I thought Michelle Gomez would be an even better Romana. You have a female character, Romana. The reason you replace a male character with a female character, and I've said it a million times, is because you don't either you don't think a female character on her own, which they have in the doc, is marketable enough to succeed, and you want to make a political statement. It's probably both are true a little bit. Yeah, you can rationalize it. Guess what? I can rationalize changing, listen, with Superman, we got Superwoman and Supergirl, but I can rationalize changing Superman into a Superwoman because Kryptonians, when they are exposed to the yellow sun for long enough, change sex. There, I just did it. It's really easy. Wonder Woman. Yeah, I've said this one before. If she ties her lasso around her waist and spins around 3 times, she has a penis. So yeah, it's real easy to make things canon. Doesn't mean it, and then it fails, it's somebody else's fault. It's somebody else. I just wouldn't recommend. Comics is the proving ground again, and almost every major superhero has had a female version. I mean, like even like Valkyrie is probably the female version of Thor, but they turned Thor into a woman. But shit, we've got the Spider Girl worked for a long time. It was an alternate universe, but it worked for a very long time, and it was a pretty decent comic. We got Batgirl, Batwoman, we got Supergirl. There's tons. Like, just make a new character. The funny thing is, this is all based on Wonder Woman. This is all freaking Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman did well, and all of a sudden they're all, oh, make everything girl, without really looking into the 75 years Wonder Woman was, out there. That's 75 years of marketing, 75 years of comics. Yeah, I mean, you can't buy that kind of stuff. And yes, of course. And they haven't, they put her in Superman, Batman, but they haven't really done a theatrical version of her, like a solid take of it. And it succeeded. And they did a good job in the movie. Patty Jenkins did a great job directing, kind of a weak third act, but, and then of course we have Captain Marvel. All of a sudden Wonder Woman didn't happen. Wonder Woman did not exist. This is the first woman ever to be in anything, Captain Marvel. And they're just trying to mirror the Black Panther marketing they did, release it on National Women's Day. And it's going to end a lot different this time though, because she's not Black Panther was the first Marvel character. No, it wasn't even the first Marvel character. It wasn't even the first Marvel character, but it was first in the MCU. So we're talking about a first female lead in the MCU. Well, I mean, in Avengers, Scarlett Johansson was a lead. They were all like, Robert Downey Jr. was the star, but all of the Avengers were leads. So she's not even the first female lead, technically. Black Widow's been around for a while. Deserved a movie before her. Way before her. If they do it rated R and they do it right. Do you think a Star Trek spinoff about World War III would be a good idea? Says Social Loner, 5 pounds. Um, if it's done by anybody else, if it's not by Bad Robot, like Alec from Axonar does it, sure. Uh, they refer to it. Yeah, I'm trying to think how many times they refer to it. I can remember once for sure. Yeah, that'd be interesting. What led, like that's going way into prequel territory though. Wonder Woman movies have to cast Lucy Lawless and Claudia Black as Amazons. They really do, especially Claudia Black. I got a little bit of a crush on her. Claudia Black as Romana. Claudia Black as Romana. Now that is a woman who can intimidate. Romana was the best, tall, dark, imposing. Romana 2 was also a little pasty by comparison. Well, Romana 1 was Romana 1 is definitely the better one. But somebody pointed out in the chat the other day, it was a comment, great point that I just read the latest bullshit about wait till you hear this next article I'm reading. Like pretty much the 55 years of Doctor Who were something to be embarrassed about, and the female companions were all underlings. Liz Shaw, and that is to John Pertwee's Doctor, who was probably the most 70s, we'll say. There's a lot of my dear and my girl. So what? Sometimes that's just a term of endearment. But Liz Shaw, and this was in 1970, 69, 70, 71, something like that. I was like 2. Liz Shaw came in, scientist, badass, didn't take any of his shit. Liz Shaw, badass. But they don't even know who Liz Shaw is. Oh my God. I hate to do this. No, I don't. So you'll just have to see in the video. There's Geek's Guide to the Galaxy podcast. It's affiliated with the big magazine. It was the hardest thing I've had to listen to since Lore Reloaded at the end of one of Andy Trekker's videos, singing. It's quite awful. Claudia Black is hot, beautiful, smart, and a woman, every sense of the word. And Gary just crashed the internet. Did I? How did I do that? Claudia Black as Romana. Yes, Claudia Black as Romana. Let's make this happen, folks. I'll watch that show. There's your female lead, who's a badass. She's every bit the freaking equal to the Doctor. All right. I don't know, what would her TARDIS be? You'd have to pick something as cool as a police box. I have to get back to you on that. The eugenics wars of Star Trek. That'd be cool. That'd be interesting. Yes. Long live Mary Tam. Tom Fink. Yes. Liz Shaw wasn't very popular, and they got rid of her pretty quick, says Thomas Williams. Well, yeah, because that was the dudes at the time. But I liked her. It stands up. I dug Liz Shaw. Yeah, they probably saw her as a bit too all out of bubblegum, $5. Hey, Gary, last night was really weird. Had some computer malfunction with street lights and fuel pumps as well. That went wacky as well. Really? Yeah, last night was weird because I was doing an exozone with Doomcock and we both got kicked off the internet, which never happens. Like, it's usually one of us, like the stream will die. That happens all the time. It's happened here. And yeah, we both got kicked off and it ended. So we are going to, we had some super chats we still had to read. So we're going to read those, record it, and it'll be a video later this week. So please check out the Exozone. The Exozone is, we talk about UFOs and stuff. So it's kind of something we do for fun. It's not for everybody. So if you're a person who doesn't believe in that kind of stuff, I totally understand. And again, we don't present anything as fact. It's just for fun. Agent Future, $5. Alex Kurtzman's statement forgot to mention that Captain Philippa is dead in Discovery, and we're getting Emperor Georgiou as Section 31 agent. Yeah, it was interesting that they didn't mention the fact that is not Captain Philippa, it is Captain Emperor Philippa Georgiou, because it's just a recycled article for good PR. And then I'm serious, these same 6 or 7 people tweet at me, ha ha. I mean, like, dude, they even reuse memes. It's like, and gifs, or, they like the Vince McMahon one, the guy keeps using the same thing. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't get to me. It really doesn't. It's funny. I mean, it's interesting to see that I get way more blowback. Well, I mean, I get none for Doctor Who. I mean, like, none. Like, I have not seen anything, and maybe I'm, not noticing it. That could happen, but Nathan Norman, does anyone else notice Janeway grew an anus on her face in that lore singing clip on Andy Trecker's video? Yes, on her upper right hand. Nathan Norman, yes. Oh my God. Some of the Andy Trecker's videos are freaking, I mean, they put Nerdrotic Jr. in stitches. It's funny. The lore the James Bond one puts Nerdrotic Jr. I don't show his face, but he's got the funniest, coolest laugh. It's like a gut chuckle, and then he starts snorting. And every time, man, I put that video on, and he starts cracking up. It's great. Romana's TARDIS should be a classic VW camper. That's good. Aberjam UK. I like that. YouTube sucks. They're always messing up. I like YouTube. They can do some questionable things to bigger people just for merely being outspoken. I don't like that. Yes, the Master did materialize his doctor inside the Doctor's TARDIS once. Got to close last night. The truth is out there. Got too close last night. The truth is out there. Thank you for the 2 pounds, Rolo Cat. Maybe we did. I got to go back and listen. What did we say? Uh-oh. If you guys don't hear from me again, please check on my wife and kids. I was still having problems this morning with other things involving computers, all at a bubblegum. Yeah, it took Doomcock a while to reconnect. I know that. Why does anyone think Lower Decks, the Star Trek cartoon series, is for kids? Will be a hit. Captain Spire, it will not be a hit because kids could give two whats about Star Trek. No kids talk about Star Trek, like zero. Star Trek is, I hate to say this, it's like comic books. The most people interested in it are the last generation interested in it. Star Trek did not pick up the Utes, as they call them. And it's one of its biggest failings. And CBS is greatly aware of that. And that's probably why they went in the Discovery direction. Yeah, the kids are not into Star Trek. Sorry. That is kids were into Doctor Who, not anymore. Because you know what? Listen, as a dad, you know what kids really love the most? Being preached at, being lectured to. They just love it. Every time I lecture and preach to my kids, they just sit there like this. They can't wait. They want it to go longer. No. And kids also like being bored. They really love that. The NSA shut down Exozone last night. Maybe they did. Those bastards. I should have worn my tinfoil hat. I knew it, Mr. Twisted. I should have blacked out the windows. STD comes out once a week, or yes, Harley's little sister. Unfortunately, we're going to be getting a slow drip of STD. It's the itching will continue. The virus will spread. Yes, STD flames up again this Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Check your local listings. Oh no, you have to pay for it, and you have to pay more to not have commercials on the thing you're paying for. Yes, it's $5.99 for CBS All Access, but $10 if you want to be able to go past the commercials. And you still get promos and commercials, by the way. You also get access to all the other boring CBS drama. No, that some of the CBS stuff is fine, but it's all out there anyway. Star Trek is also available on Netflix. So why would you need CBS All Access just for Discovery? That's part of the reason they're dumb. And it must have something to do with their deal with Netflix. And Netflix is just smarter than everybody. You want to have a digital service, fine. You stop making physical media. You don't let anybody else air your crap ever. And therefore, the only other alternative is pirating. And guess what? You'll make tons of money because a lot of people just don't pirate. A lot of people will pay the dollar or whatever. So make it affordable and not available anywhere else, and you will succeed. You know how something is really successful at Netflix? They put out physical media. Should I ask Alex Jones to be on the Exozone? I think they would shut us down in a hot second if we brought him on. Alex Jones. I remember when he was on Art Bell and he was talking about Bohemian Grove, and he videoed that, which isn't too far from me. I should go there. Should I go there? Should I like get into the bushes and videotape? God, oh my, yeah. Should I get my 16 millimeter camera and do the whole ceremony in front of the giant owl? What about Steve Gutenberg as the new master? How about Jeff Goldblum as the new master? Lucy Moody. Iris's TARDIS is in Rose. There you go. Speaking of Romana, Lala Ward, I can't read. Still plays her in Big Finish audios, specifically Gallifrey. Not to mention that she also appears with Tom Baker and the Fourth Doctor Adventures from Big Finish. Says Tom Baker. Tom Baker is in our chat. Oh, it's T Baker. I'm just going to guess it's you. I love you, Tom Baker, and you can plug yourself. And yes, Big Finish is beautiful. I'm okay with Big Finish. I don't need, you know what? Just cancel Doctor Who, and we'll put the Big Finish people in charge. But pretty soon, and probably for a long time, we're going to get Jodie stuff on Big Finish. So yeah, not looking forward to that at all. When does Counterpart air? JPRPH1. They made a giant mistake skipping this weekend. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Stars. Stars is dumb. They're just dumb. They ruined Ash versus Evil Dead. Penny Dreadful. They're probably going to screw up American Gods. Stars, I want to support you. You put out good shows, but you make stupid decisions. I don't know what's behind them. Counterpart did not need to lose any momentum because it barely had any. The rating, the overnights suck. I don't know what the digital are. Hopefully they're double what they're getting, which is respectable. If it's getting 1 million right now, the overnight ratings are in 100,000 viewers. One of my videos has more overnight views than a Counterpart episode. That is not good. I mean, it's awesome that one of my videos has that much views, and like I'm floored by it and very humbled, but I don't want to be beating Counterpart. Okay. I want Counterpart to beat the crap out of my channel, please. We had a video hit 300,000 views. It was amazing. Thank you, everybody. Really. Oh, I'm sorry, Maza. You did not have to put more money. I should refund you. Okay. Maza Monty is an awesome person who's in this chat, who makes the chat a better place and is very forgiving for me missing a super chat. And I'm really sorry. I get on my rolls. You missed my super chat. So Doctor Who fans respectful, maybe because dissenting fan base is mostly older. Doctor fans are maybe more respectful because the dissenting fan base is mostly or older. That's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. Um, I think Doctor Who fans are more respectful on the whole. Yes, I agree with that. I think, well, for one, they're from the UK, so they're polite. Listen, I've ridden your trains over there in London. You guys are polite. Ride a train over here. It's a different story. It's a much different story. So on the whole, to just generalize you guys, you're pretty polite, and I appreciate that. You're nice. Um, the problem with you might be right there, Mazza, but here's the deal. That older fan base is the one that buys everything, and the newer fan base, and again, that video I've been pumping for now 2 hours now, so I better come out with it. Talks about that. And it's not really the type of your audience, it's the size of it and what it does with its money. The audience that all of the properties have been going for don't buy anything. They talk about it a lot on social media, but they don't really watch it all the way through, and they don't buy anything. And that's something, well, Star Wars just showed the data. It's there. So yeah, you can have interest at first. They lose interest fast. They're on to the next thing. They're jumping on it because it's a trend, and you just burned all of your goodwill with people who have been around for decades. So yeah, so they wanted to replace their fan base. That was their entire goal. Thank you for the super chat. I'm going to get to your earlier one that I missed. I am so sorry. Doctor Who, don't abuse because we're we're older maybe, and that's possible. I will say that is possible. But Star Trek's fan base is older than, or as old as Doctor Who, and I think older, because Doctor Who got a lot younger with the new era, but most of the people I'm coming across from the new era don't like Jodie. So there is two different generations of fans with Star Trek and Doctor Who, but the second generation of Doctor Who or Star Trek fans is old too. They're old as well. Gamer Gambit, $5. Ronnie and Romana face off would be a great pilot episode. Oh, I so agree with you. Perhaps we can get a proper writer, since it would not be a man versus a woman thing. Yeah. I'm forgetting her name. If they really need to get a female writer, there is one who is writing for Counterpart. She is awesome. She wrote the last episode before last, one of the best episodes of television I have seen. She is brilliant. Hire her. I will find out her name eventually. Daniel Nolan, $2. Daniel Nolan, $5. Daniel Nolan, by the way, did you get your package? That sounds weird. Did you get your package from Bogota? Don't tell anybody about it, especially the narcs. No, your Patreon package. By the way, Daniel Nolan lives like in my zip code. What's up, buddy? With names like Spock, Tuvok, Sarek, and T'Pol. Who thought Mikey Burnham was a good name for a Vulcan? Well, she's not technically a Vulcan, but did I read or hear something today that she is now? Huh? I don't want to know. I just don't want to know at this point. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it, man. Scaro Trek, $2. Fifth and Sixth Doctors, Cybermen are best, sinister, and cold. Scaro Trek, I am a fan of both Cybermen and Daleks. Got my mask right over there. Yes. Making sure. Okay, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, 5 pounds at 158. I'm sorry, sir. Can we all say get well soon to Stephanie B, who was suffering from the flu at the time? Stephanie B, we miss your smiling face. She's got this smiling face avatar that just like radiates goodness throughout the world. I want that smile to be back and healthy. You take care of yourself. The Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, you do too. Okay. I know you fight some health stuff too. And I know that some days it's a struggle just to get up. So always thinking about you. It's good to hear from you. Thank you. Honestly, Strawberry Hellcat, thanks for the tip on that book. I'm so stoked. I can't wait to get it. I'll talk about it next nooner because I'm getting it tomorrow. All right. All right. All right. Let's get back down to the chat. Oh yeah, that's a Mr. Twisted 72. I would love to see a Q Time Lord interaction. I would love to see like a proper Star Trek Doctor Who crossover. The comic did a very good job. I thought that was good. Next Generation, Matt Smith. I thought it was fun. I have some original art from that. And people are sending their well wishes to Stephanie B, who was a good friend, part of this community. She's also, Stephanie B is a Valkyrie. Am I correct in saying that, right? She's part of Odin's channel, one of the mods on Odin's channel, and they're called the Valkyries. I think that's really cool. Aberjam, you're so right. It's cyber people, not Cyberman. Please no gender assumptions with the cyberness. Broly, you don't have to. This is open topic, man. You guys can ask about anything. It's when I'm talking about a specific show, you might want to, wait for because that's why I do these 3 live streams a week. We can talk about whatever you want. So even though I'm on a subject, you can ask away about anything really, and I'll respond to it. Broly canonize Nerdrotic channel. Sorry about sorry nothing about this subject, which you don't have to be sorry for, but you should give it a try. Give a try to the series Titans on Netflix. It is the first time I think Robin has been cool. Well, somehow. Well, it is still Robin. Well, Broly, go to my channel and you can see my recaps of the entire series because it was it aired here about a month ago, about 2 months ago, on DC Universe. DC Universe has its own streaming service. The Doom Patrol, which is my favorite episode, the 4th episode, I think it was, is the next live action series. Currently, they're airing Young Justice. I have been asked a lot to review it. I will. I'm going to review it in 2 parts. So we're going to do a season part 1 and a part 2 for season 1 because they're dropping like 3 at a time. So, and yeah, I will be reviewing that. There's so much coming out now, though. You know what? January is like the new September for more television shows premiere now than in the fall, like they used to. I saw a little bit of Taken, Aberjam UK, and I thought it was pretty good. But I mean, it lost me, and not that it was, at that time in the early 2000s, I was just starting my comic shop, so I didn't have a ton of time to watch TV. Angel Feliciano, I know that they can't do Doctor Who Star Trek crossover. They are owned by 2 different companies. Actually, you can do crossovers if the 2 companies come to an agreement. Marvel and DC used to do that all the time, and Sony and Disney currently have that agreement with Spider-Man. So it is possible. And during the Russell T. Davies era, it was seriously considered, but Berman. So even though they're owned by 2 different companies, they did it in the comics, so that means they can do it in TV. It's just a lot more money that they have to divide up. So if they can do it in comics, they can do it in movies. I think the bigger problem wouldn't even be the 2 different companies. It's the 2 different countries might be a problem. But say Netflix comes up and goes, hey, BBC, hey, whoever owns Star Trek, Viacom, Paramount, CBS this week. Right now it's CBS. And I don't want it to happen right now, to be honest with you. We'll give you $50 million liquid cash, simoleons, shekels, cheddar to make this series. Could you guys make it happen? And we'll pay for everything. They would do it. Or the stockholders of CBS would revolt. Yes, Odin's movie blog. He's part of the Geeks and Gamers thing. I think his thing is movie. He does movie math, and I'd rather watch him than Grace, who I haven't watched in a long time, by the way. I haven't watched her in a long time. Cheech and Chong have a plan to host. Oh, if Cheech and Chong hosted the Oscars, and they let them be Cheech and Chong like the whole time, no PC bullshit, like straight up Cheech and Chong, and I want Cheech to go and sing his Mexican American song. Um, I would watch. I would watch. Disney has a bad habit of doing series IP crossovers. With the way things are going for them, how long do you think before we get a Star Wars MCU? We'll get one. I guarantee we'll get one. It'll probably be, in some, like Toy Story, we'll get two action figures interacting, and that'll lead to some other funsy onesie thing that's got no stakes, but it'll happen. Don't ever consider things won't happen. I remember talking to my friends when I was a kid going, they will recast Star Trek someday. They will recast Captain Kirk. They will recast Spock. And I was called insane. And then they did it. So, and I wasn't the only one who said that. A lot of people have said that. And I say the same thing about Star Wars. They will recast and redo the original series in its entirety. I actually pitched a way it would work, a way it would be interesting. You take the radio series, the PBS radio series that George Lucas donated the rights to USC, and they made a radio drama that was brilliant, and it was based on the novelizations. So it was a 6-hour version of the movie, or a 3-hour version. I can't remember, 3-4 hour version of the movie. Lots of extra stuff. You do that. You make it a TV show. You make it a TV show and you base it on the audio series. Then you get into the weeds. You show like what was the motivation. You do flashbacks like you normally don't do. And you do TV. And that would at least be interesting. So you make it something completely different from the movies. I think it's still sacrilege as hell, but that would be the one way I could possibly accept it. I liked Missy. I thought Missy was a good idea. That was one of the better things that Moffat came up with. That's for sure. That is for sure. Is there anything I missed? Double check the super chats. Brent Newman, £2. STD, the only place Kirk won't be allowed to get one. Keep Kirk. Well, if we're Brent, if we get a season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, we're getting Kirk. 100% guaranteed. Take it to the bank, cash the check, buy yourself something nice. It's going to happen. Trust me. If things were going good for Star Trek Discovery, they would not have brought in Spock and Pike, because they are going to take attention away from Michael Burnham unless, and this could happen. Did you notice in Anson Mount's interviews, he makes a point to say what makes Captain Pike a good captain is he asks other people for help. So we're going to get a millennial insecure captain who's going to rely heavily on his female number one or Michael Burnham or both. And yeah. So Star Trek Discovery is about Michael Burnham's ascension to captain. Sinequa Martin Green said that in the Blu-ray special features. She said, I'm paraphrasing, you're going to watch my journey to becoming a captain. That's what the whole show's about. It's about her. It's a superhero journey. It's not a Star Trek show. So, yeah. But there was no plans to bring in Pike or Spock, because Kurtzman said they weren't going to do that at the very beginning. Now, they said they were going to do a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of people are coming after me because I reported on a lawsuit. I mean, it's like I didn't file the lawsuit. I reported on it. I will continue to report on the tardigrades lawsuit. Please go check out my videos. They're getting a little traction. So what I failed to report in my last lawsuit video is the judge did ask for Anas Dean to show how CBS could have stolen, and not prove, but present evidence to where do you think CBS stole it? And, actually I got to give credit to Captain Robert April for pointing out something that it'd be pretty easy to point out, because tardigrades was everywhere at the time. And this has been pointed out before, but I think it's a good point that all they have to do is that. So they don't have to show that, oh no, this guy who wrote for CBS broke into my house and went on my computer, that kind of thing. It was out there. So that could be enough evidence. So CBS, right now, it's too early to settle, but we're in the discovery phase. And I honestly didn't think we'd get to this. I think they, unless they offered Anas a deal and he said no, and he's not talking about it, which would be smart. I'm not sure. But Ricada Law, which is a YouTube channel, they talked about this. So good on him for talking about it. He's actually a really good channel. And he's an actual lawyer. I'm not. I have a lot of experience with lawyers, but I am not one. That's a long story for another day. That story is actually on my Patreon for a little as $1, but not something that's going to be on the regular channel. Sorry. I'm just looking at notifications. Okay. It is 2:30. I have to pick up. So for the next, the times might shift for the nooners a little bit because Mrs. Nerdrotic is going to Japan. So I'm going to be single dad for a couple weeks. So things are going to change. Just keep an eye at nerdrotic.com for the schedule. And I would like to thank my super chats. So many. Thank you guys so much. Vixen of Vavavoom, Chris Persia, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Ridiculed Reptile Reviews, Chris Persia, Observer Dude, Scaro Trek, Gary Bell, Brian Smart. Brian Smart, let me tell you real quick. Brian Smart is one of our oldest subs. And I know you guys heard this before, but the new subs haven't. I didn't even know there was a chat when we started live streaming. And then he left a comment going, guys, I've been trying to talk to you for like 3 weeks. Yeah, that was so. Thanks, Brian Smart. Social Loner, Mr. Roboto, Silhouetted Animator, Brent Newman, Captain Spire, Silhouetted Animator, Gamer Gambit, Keely Ann. Oh, dude, how did I miss the Keely? Ugh. Why do they do these things out of order? Man, there's like 3 in a row. This sucks. I suck. All right. So, next video I do, Keely, Loquacious, and formerly Rodline. I'm going to give you guys producer credit on my video that's coming out Tuesday to make up for this. So your names will be on the internet. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I mean, honestly, I should refund you. I'm a failure. I'm a bad person. And they can isolate that. My enemy. Well, do I have enemies now? Really? Me? Whatever. Keely Ann, $10. Fellow bass guitarist John Entwistle, Jack Bruce, John Lodge for me. Your influences. Well, Keely, John Entwistle, Getty Lee, Geezer Butler. Yes, but John Entwistle is number 1. Jack Bruce is right up there. John Lodge is great. Are you seeing my old bass right there? Yeah, I got a Rickenbacker that I don't play anymore. It's just something I look at and go, oh, it's pretty, but I'm not in a band, so I just use my $100 Ibanez back there that has stickers all over it. I love it. Someday I might play for you guys, but that'll be on a stream that doesn't stay on the channel. Keely, thank you so much. And yes, I love a good bass. I love a good yeah. I'm a big Rush fan. I know a lot of people don't like Rush, but big Who fan, big Rush fan, and I like a lot of punk rock. Actually, I forgot to mention in True Detective, my favorite scene was when the kids are driving down the street and they played X. It's one of my all-time favorite bands, X, and they were playing the song Sugar Light. X are old-timey SoCal punk rock, a mix of a lot of things, but Exene Cervenka was a big crush on her. She actually dated Viggo Mortensen back in the day. Great band. Great LA band. They were discovered by Ray Manzarek from The Doors, and he actually played on a couple of their first couple albums. Formerly Rod Line at 1:30. God damn, I'm an hour late on this. I hang my head in shame. PC, Political Correct, MAC, Multicultural Acceptable Conversion, iOS, Inclusive Otherkin Speech. I need to keep that. That is actually very relatable to my next video. Damn it. Son of a bitch. Gamer Gambit, keep on rocking. This is the Good Dad Show. Ha, thanks. I appreciate it. Mary Ashby, Gary, you rock. You'll be at 40K soon. Honestly, folks, I mean, knock on wood, I'd love that. But if it stops now, I'm good. I'm good. I'm totally good. DJ D Show, Mary, you guys do not need to donate. Okay. You guys work hard enough. I really appreciate it. And check out the DJ D Show. Good chap, good YouTube channel. I like his stuff. Have I read Leaf by Tolkien? I have. Peter Davison. No, I need to do that. That is, yeah. Thank you for the 20 Australian dollars. I'll get back to you on that one, Peter. I got to write that down in my notes. I'm like super behind on everything. Well, Christ, I just took down my Christmas decorations yesterday. So that tells you how things have been. Rolocat 300,000 by a new year. Also love Rush. That's insane. Thank you so much, Rolocat. Again, I thank you guys so much. I'm really happy with the subscriber count. I mean, it's great that it goes up, but I'm really appreciative and happy, and I just hope I can keep you guys entertained. We do a lot of other stuff besides Doctor Who. I'm going to stay on Doctor Who as long as we get crazy articles like the last one. I'm going to stay on it, but Star Trek is next. But there's also good stuff coming. There's The Expanse. There's American Gods. Mr. Robot's last season. We're covering all that good stuff. So check out my Patreon. Of course, you get we're going to be changing the levels a little bit, but you still get stuff. T-shirts are coming. Oh, so I did a T-shirt called Death Before Disco, and it's supposed to make fun of the disco Discovery shirts. It got yanked for reasons I do not know. I tried to put it back up twice. It got yanked twice from Teespring. So if people are into that, I'll throw the image up on my website. There was somebody who hit me up on Twitter saying it's hate speech. It's not. We're talking about a music. I can make it on my own. We're also going to have Nerdrotic shirts. So I'm going to try to make them as cheap as possible. Those will be coming out soon. If you're interested, if you're not, that's cool. Peter Davison, Australian $10 or more accurately, the essay called Tree by J.R.R. No, but I know the song, The Trees by Rush. I got to check it out. Is the song based on that? I didn't even know that. But I love the song. My God, that's my favorite Rush song, by the way. Peter Davison, I will check it out. Okay, everybody, I'm going to let it go there. I got to go pick up Junior from school. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you had a good time, and I will be back on Wednesday. Last time I'll mention this, but the best actress who could play a live action Death of the Endless, Allison Stoner. She's voices the young Justice, but she's also a good actress. I'm down with it. Man. And 20 Australian dollars from Peter Davison. I have not read Leaf by Tolkien. Or is that the old one? That's the one you already sent. I'm sorry. They're just popping up in my chat now. So there we go. I'm just trying to get down the last time. Mary, thank you for the wrench. DJ D Show, thank you for the wrench. And for some reason, it's not going down now. There we go. You all have a good one. JPRPH1, Lloyd, KSS, Rod Strayer, DJ Bowman, Jim Holden, Clay Smith, Jason Bourne, Vixen of Vavavoon, Truth Apocalypse, Thomas Williams, All Out of Bubblegum, Silhouetted Animator, Matthew Matson, Angel Feliciano, Flavius Alacanther, Brent Newman, The Scribe, Rod Strayer, Pickle Jars for Hillary, Tom Fink, Don't Mind Me, Mr. Twisted 72, Rebecca Gold, Sid of the Id, The Pyro Tyrant, Me TR, Max Waller, Daniel Nolan. Did I already say that one? And that's as high as I can go. Keely Ann. Eint Whistle. Yes, Eint Whistle, Keely. It's good to see you and your fellow bass player. I like that a lot. Yes. I'm going to play a little bit this afternoon. I usually dabble when I'm in between edits on my video to get my brain going. Yes, Shadow Dancer, Rush. gonna listen to a little Rush on the way to picking Junior up from school. That's the great thing about today is like, if I want to listen to Rush, I'd have to put in I know it sounds terrible, a CD or a cassette tape. Now I could just pick up my phone, say, okay, Google, play me some Rush, and it'll just play me Rush. So good times, folks. These are not dark times. Bad stuff always happens, but life's what you make it, right? So be good to each other. I will talk to you guys soon. Look for my Doctor Who video and the Star Trek video coming out. Thank you again for 30,000 subscribers. You guys are part of the show. You truly are. We will never, ever, ever stop doing anything live. I know a lot of people stop. Nope, not doing that at all. We will, at the very least, we will do 3 live streams a week, maybe more in the future. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao, everybody.